Hi guys, welcome back to the Blue Zombie channel. I am your host, Miss Katniss W. Schofield, where we're obsessed with all things movies, TV shows, series, video games, books, you name it, as those are the things that inspire movies. Part 2 of my review for Return of the Living Dead 2. The video had to be split into two, as I'm sure you all noticed I am new to YouTube and I am finding my way when it comes to doing reviews. There's so much content out there, so many movies out there that I'm dying to review, but I first want to do all things zombies before I move on to other things. Like, I really want to review Pillion and Heated Rivalry. That I am looking forward to doing. I feel like I will do a short on that. Let me not get ahead of myself, but if you guys would be interested, please let me know down in the comments, because those things look like they're gonna be really saucy. I haven't had the chance to watch them yet, but I can't wait, especially Pillion. But then again, I was also thinking about Heated Rivalry. You're gonna need smelling salts for that shit, I am sure. But anyways, let's get into today's video. We left off with Tom fighting off a zombie at Jesse's house, so we're gonna pick up from there. The grave robbers, along with Jesse, Tom, and Lucy, make their way to Dr. Mandel's house. They get into his garage and convince him to let them take his car so they can escape the zombie horde that is currently infesting the neighborhood. So they all hop into the car and they drive. Gone. Everyone, including Dr. Mandel, leave the neighborhood because now the zombies are coming by the dozens. So while this is all happening, Billy is in the late stages of zombification. That little shit is getting what he deserves and is turning into a zombie. He should not have messed with those military barrels. And another thing I just want to quickly insert, I finally managed to watch the first Return of the Living Dead. I definitely enjoyed the first film compared to the second film. The pacing was better and I liked the characters, even though there was one scene that traumatized me. The people that play Ed and Joey, that they first were in the first Return of the Living Dead, to see Tom Matthews and James Craven in the first one. I didn't realize that they were in the first Return of the Living Dead, and then they came back into the second one as completely different characters. I like the two of them together. They're actually really nice together. So yeah, that was I mean, I want to elaborate on my thoughts. I will save that for another video, because what I think is very interesting is that Return of the Living Dead was born out of Night of the Living Dead. I didn't realize they were related somehow, like it had a connection, since the two creators, George A. Romero and John Russo, they made Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero and John A. Russo couldn't decide on how they wanted the sequels to continue. They couldn't decide on the continuity of the sequels for Night of the Living Dead. So each man went his own separate path, and George A. Romero, his future Night of the Living Dead movies would only be called the Dead movies, Dead series, and Johnny Russo's, he would retain the living dead section of the title. So they went their separate ways, and I'm still finding the time to watch all of George A. Romero's Dead movies. I'm still finding time to watch all of George A. Romero's Dead films. I've only watched Night of the Living Dead, and then I have watched 2 Living Dead movies for John Russo. The first, Return of the Living Dead. I've only watched 2 films for Return of the Living Dead. There are 5 films. George A. Romero was only involved in the first one, Return of the Living Dead. I want to say that's probably why Return of the Living Dead 2 isn't as good as the first one, because the first one was actually, it's a lot better than the second one. That's all I have to say. Anyways, let's get back into the survivors. Everyone that is in Dr. Mandel's car head to the hospital after Brenda raises concern that Joey is not okay and that he needs medical help. But ain't no doctor have no cure for his condition, okay? It's irreversible. He's turning into a zombie. At the hospital, Dr. Mandel examines Joey and Ed while Tom, Jesse, and Lucy drive around town, trying to find somebody, police, just anybody. They're just going in search of police or anybody that doesn't want to eat their brains, basically. They stop at Lucy and Jesse's grandfather's house to retrieve his guns, because they're about to shoot them zombies. The trio then head back to the hospital, where they find out that Ed and Joey are in the late stages of zombification. They're in pain. They've mentioned in both films that they go through a process called rigor mortis. Now, my understanding of rigor mortis is that your limbs become stiff because the calcium in the muscles starts to leach out of the body, or the calcium dies, because obviously now you're dead, so dead bodies cannot produce calcium, so they're going through rigor mortis. Group then splits up when Brenda drives off with Joey and Ed. She didn't want Ed. Ed just so happened to get in the car before she drove off. Anyways, she drives off because she does not trust Dr. Mandel's diagnosis. She doesn't trust his diagnosis, so she's driving off in the hopes that she can find, as she says, an actual doctor to get a second opinion for Joey's condition besides Dr. Mandel's, so that she can help Joey. But he's dead. He's not breathing. There's no pupil dilation. He's going through rigor mortis. He's dead. There's nothing you can do for him. So Brenda's driving off with 2 people in the late stages of zombification. At any moment, they're going to turn on her. At any moment. She stops. She sees 2 guys. They're from the military. And while she's busy talking to them about needing help, Ed already turns into a zombie. And he kills one of them. Oh yeah, it's 3 guys. He kills one of them. He eats their brain. Then she realizes something's wrong with him. But she still keeps Joey in the car. I don't know how sister didn't realize that if that happened to Ed, the same thing's gonna happen to Joey. Then, while she's driving, then he's like, Brenda, let me eat your brains. She stops the car. I believe she runs into a church. He wants to tell her that he wants to eat her brains because they're spicy. They smell spicy. And then she eventually just lets him eat her brains. She did that willingly. That didn't happen actually in the first movie. Joey wanted to eat the girlfriend in that movie. He wanted to eat her brains, but that thankfully didn't happen. Now, he was able to eat to the brains. Tom, Lucy, Jesse, and Dr. Mandel, they steal an ambulance because they want to leave town. Now, when they are about to leave town, they are actually shot at by the military, who somehow mistake them for zombies. But then again, I can technically see why they would mistake them for zombies, because in this movie, zombies can actually drive cars, so you cannot trust anyone. Their strategy to leave the town isn't working. Now they have to go back in the town. Tom comes up with a plan to take down the zombies. The idea hit him when he knocked a zombie into an electrical car dealership sign with the ambulance he was driving. The remaining members of the group put Tom's plan into action. The first phase of Tom's plan is to lure the zombies to a power station. Now, comparing both films, in the first movie, the way to go about killing a zombie was through cremation. Now here, they've deviated from that. Now have said you can kill zombies with electricity, as Tom observed when that zombie was electrocuted by the car dealership sign, whatever. The first phase of Tom's plan is to collect brains from a meatpacking factory, which they will then use as bait to lure the zombies. Dr. Mandel is in a meatpacking truck while I'm assuming Tom drives, and throws brains from the back of the truck. He's screaming, "Fresh brains, cold, fresh brains," to the zombies to a power plant station where they plan on electrocuting them. After arriving at the power plant station, they place brains into puddles of water that each have electrical wires in them. But Billy, now a zombie, ambushes them by opening the entry gates, the large entry gates that they closed to protect them from the zombies. Now the power plant station is infested with zombies. So what happens is Tom, Lucy, Jesse lock themselves in the meatpacking truck. But then soon Jesse has to, and there's like a small, I want to say a window, but it's in the back of the truck, the container that actually holds the meat. There's an opening. Jesse's able to slip out of that opening, drive the truck into the station to be able to switch on the power. Jesse manages to activate the power, and all the zombies are immediately electrocuted. We get a small cameo from Michael, and then yes, the army then comes, sweeps the bodies away, takes the bodies away. Well, sorry, actually burns them with blowtorches, cleans up the mess, and that's the end. Now, I want to give my reviews as I promised. So the film overall was, it's good to watch. I think I've watched it now, I'm gonna say 5 times. It's definitely flawed. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's an iconic movie. It's just not a good movie. I mean, it got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I personally, it wasn't my favorite. Number 1 is definitely better than number 2. I feel like number 1, it was dark comedy. It was still very much funny, but it was more dark. This one, on the other hand, it didn't have that same dark comedy vibe to it. It was more funny than dark, whereas the first one, like, I'm not saying hectic, like dark, just, you know, funny with like a hint of darkness. And then this one, yeah, it was funny, and the acting in the second film was really bad. There was a lot of unnecessary screaming, especially from Ed and Joey and Brenda. The acting was not good, and her sister Lucy, what I gather from her performance in the movie was, it just felt like to me she was reading her lines. she didn't really feel them, especially when she spoke to Jesse. She really just sounded like she was reciting lines from a paper when she talked to Jesse, when she was speaking to him, when she was interacting with him. I didn't really feel big sister vibes or I care about you, Jesse. I just felt like she was reading a script and there was not connection between the two as there should be with an authentic brother and sister. Now, I'm gonna get to Joey and Ed. I'm assuming, I think I preferred Tom Matthews' performance in the first movie. In the first movie, he was so young and so cute. The same thing here. But his performance was actually, it was better in the first movie. In this second one, I want to say he was exaggerating the script. He wasn't embodying the character. He was just, I just don't think it was good. He wasn't embodying what the character was about. He was just, every little thing was exaggerated. Like every line was exaggerated. Wasn't my cup of tea. The same thing with Brenda. I'm like, every time when she was scared, it was exaggerated. It wasn't, I didn't feel scared. I just felt like laughing. Even she was like, oh, like, dude, really? Seriously? Yeah, her acting was also just very exaggerated. I don't know if that was supposed to be funny, but I didn't think that was funny. Jessie was fine. You know, what did I really expected from what, a 12-year-old? I didn't really expect much from that. And from start to finish, I think I give this movie a 6 out of 10 because it wasn't bad. You know, even though Rotten Tomatoes says otherwise, I can watch it again. I definitely wouldn't watch it for fun though, even though I watched it several times. Just, it's not for fun. I'll watch the first one again, definitely for fun, because that one was very nice. And I look forward to watching the 3 other films in the Return of the Living Dead franchise, and then I want to get to watching the other movies in the Dead films. That one I'm also looking forward to, and just continue this zombie verse kind of vibe. I want to know all the zombie movies and eventually be able to branch out into different reviews once I have mastered my ability to review movies. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.